So the chargeback algorithm must be simple and strong and easy to understand. You must be able to grab the opportunity and adopt the environment of the cloud as soon as possible. Reduce the temperature drastically if you keep the servers under water. Planning must be done before executing any service or giving any new service. Hello students, welcome to the next session of Cloud Computing and Big Data Analytics. I'm Dr. Soumya Shri from Department of Computer Science, Vidyashram College. In the last sessions, I finished the concept till the offerings given by the cloud service. In this session, I'm going to continue the discussion about the cloud management. How does the cloud service will be managed in the enterprise level? Okay. Now, when it comes to the concept, we have few of the concepts that will be covered under the cloud management. They are, first thing is all about the introduction of the cloud management. Next is resiliency. Next, provisioning. Next comes the management of the asset or asset management. Next, governance of the cloud in the enterprise level. High availability and disaster recovery. Lastly, charging models, usage reporting, billing and metering. How does they can be carried out? These are the some of the topics that I'm going to explain you in the session as well as next sessions. Let's come back to the concept. The first thing is, why do you need a cloud management is, previously, most of the applications were on the local server. We used to have local server for the enterprise level. We use our own server. We store all the data in that. We perform every operation on the local server. Networking, everything will be local. But today, from local, we have extended to global. Sometimes we use the public clouds to get better services or certain services, or we create our own cloud in our own organization or in our own enterprise, which can be termed as a private cloud. Okay, these things will add the advantages to the benefit of the enterprise. Along with that, you need a proper system to manage the resources that are available in the cloud, isn't it? Without a proper management, you cannot get the proper output. The cost will be increased, operational cost will be increased, capital cost will also be increased if you are not able to manage the cloud you have created, and services that must be given in the cloud must also be managed. This concept of cloud management tells you all about how to manage the cloud. Along with that, what are the different services, how to manage the different services given in the cloud will be the part of the discussion in the cloud management. So we have to provide the value to the cloud. IT cost model must have these below characteristics. What are the different things we need to look into for the better costing of the money in the cloud? Are, one thing is, it must be equitable. What is the meaning of the term equitable? So for equitable, the term means the charging of the service, that which is called as the chargeback approach. That means whatever the service the client have obtained, based on that charges must be given or charges will be applied on the service given, okay, which is called as the chargeback approach. The chargeback approach must equally distribute the cost based on the service taken for a IT expense or IT service. How much you have used, that much only be charged. Okay, so there must be equity or equality in charging for the service. So it is called as the equitable. Next is controllable. You need to have certain control over the IT services you are rendering to a client, maybe private cloud or public cloud. In public cloud, you will be having the control. In private cloud, there must be administrators who provide or who have a control over the services that are given to a client or to the customer. All right, there must be controllable. Next is they must be repeatable and predictable. That means repeatable is the service. You need to have the service which can be repeatedly used. One time used and it has been discarded. Not like that. You need to have the services which can be repeatedly used in the enterprise. Along with that, you must predict what are the possible services required by the clients. What are the IT services which are probably required by the client for this year or for the upcoming projects? What are the IT services the employees may need or the clients may need? So you must predict the services you must provide to the customers. Next thing is, it must be as simple as possible. IT services. So the chargeback algorithm must be simple and strong and easy to understand so that it can be implemented efficiently to minimize the confusion in the execution of the cloud service. Last thing is, it must be comprehensive. Comprehensive is the cloud service must be taken as a service. That means it is not a business. It must be taken as a service so that there will be no tax on the service given for the client or the customer. All right. So these are the some of the cost-based model, the characteristic that the cost-based model is expecting. All right. Along with this, as we say in the last point, it must be considered as a service. Okay. Why you need to consider the cloud as a service is, when you consider the cloud or you develop a cloud model, considering it as a service, the service-based model offers cost transparency. You can transparently exhibit the costs that are needed to establish that cloud, and cost reduction options can be applied on a model which are based on, not on the cost, based on the service. If you based on the cost, the model is developed based on the cost, you will not be able to reduce the cost as much as possible. So it is better to have a service-based model which gives a better management of the cloud. All right. Next comes is the resiliency. One thing we need to study in the cloud management is resiliency. So what is the meaning of resiliency? Is the capacity to rapidly adopt, how quickly you can adopt and respond to the risk if you get any attack on your data or the services you are providing. You have to be able to recover from that risk and attack as soon as possible. So what is the capacity of your recoverability? That term is considered as the resiliency. So the resiliency is the capacity of the system or any person or anybody to rapidly adopt to the and respond to the risks as well as opportunities. You have to be able to quickly grasp the risk that can happen over a cloud and the new opportunities that come in the way of the cloud service. You must be able to grasp those changes and attacks as soon as possible. That capacity is called as the resiliency. This resiliency is helpful for maintaining the business, the cloud business, because business operations depend on the changes. That is, everything will be under the change. Even in normal life, you have to face the changes, isn't it? But in IT, you will be facing the changes very rapidly. That means you must be able to adapt to the changes very easily. Okay, this resiliency help in the growth of the business and operate in potential adverse conditions. It will make the cloud service able to be in workable conditions even in the adverse conditions. That means even in the difficult situations, the cloud must be able to continue its service. Okay, the reach and range of the assessment process will examine the business driven or data driven and event driven risk. First, you have to list out what are the different risks can have in a cloud. Like, it may be business driven, there may be extra competitors in the cloud service, you may have new cloud services, new vendors stepping up into the cloud, or it may be data driven. Datas are pouring into the cloud, different kinds of datas are coming. You are not able to do that kind of risk can be arising in a cloud. Along with that, event driven risk based on the event, based on a particular moment, or on a particular moment you may get a risk, you may get a new risk. How do you solve this? How do you face these risks and make the changes rapidly so that your system or cloud will be able to face that risk or difficulty? Okay, the resiliency blueprint is there, which tells you what must be done when there is a risk. Some risk will be predictable and some will be not able to predictable. It is non-predictable risk you can have. Suddenly you may get a new risk. So there will be a blueprint which gives you the hint of what must be done in case of expected risk or the risk which are already happened and you have avoided that kind of risk management will be given in a resiliency blueprint, which includes different layers of facilities, technology, application, data, and different process to manage the different kinds of risk. Okay, the framework for resiliency blueprint enables the employees or the administrators in the cloud to examine the business. How does the business is running, whether it is giving a good return on investment or whether it is not getting a good return. Along with that, understand what areas of vulnerabilities, what services are facing the threat currently and which are vulnerable to the threats. Which services are most vulnerable to the threat and which services are less vulnerable to the threats which may exist at present or which may arise with the use in the future. So, and quickly pinpoint the areas. Along with that, it pinpoint the areas of concern and help them understand, helps the administrator to understand what action they can take to come over such kind of risk or such kind of area. Sometimes you'll be able to avoid the risk. Sometimes what you have to do is, once the risk has happened, the problem has arisen, you have to detect and correct the risk or the errors. This capacity of the organization or enterprise to tackle the risk as well as the opportunities will be called as the resiliency. Along with risk, you must be able to overview or you must be able to predict the opportunities that can come in the way of the business in the cloud. You must be able to grab the opportunity and adopt the environment of the cloud as soon as possible. The cloud business must adopt to the new opportunity, or they have to grab the opportunity and change the services it is currently giving. All these things will come under the concept of resiliency, and the resiliency is a part of cloud management. How to manage the cloud or cloud services. Along with that, you have a concept of resiliency capabilities. What are the capabilities of the resiliency? What are the capabilities of the resiliency or capacity of your change? Will provide a framework that combines multiple parts. What is the multiple parts will manage is, it helps you to manage the risk as well as improve the capacity of the business. So it improves the quality of the business or quality of the cloud service. Okay. The first thing is from the facilities perspective. If you look at the facilities given to the customers or the clients, you may need to implement the power protection from security perspective to protect applications and data. So you have to protect the power. That is, power is not the electricity or the normal power. Power is the capacity of accessing the service. Okay, power protection is getting the accessibility of the data only to the authorized person, which are in power or which are given the authority of accessing the data for reducing the risk. Okay, or along with that, getting the opportunity. So you may need to implement the power protection. You have to have the services availability only based on what position the person is having. So power protection. From security perspective, you have to protect the applications and data. What is the method of general method or normal method of implementing the protection for the data is implementing the credentials for the login. You have to have authorized person. How do you know whether the person is authorized or not? You may get a biometric protection having face recognition or fingerprint recognition or iris recognition, whatever may be. You can have a biometric protection which gives access only to the authorized persons. Okay. Along with that, from process perspective, from the process running in the cloud, you may implement the identification and documentation of most critical business process. You have to document and identify the most important business process. What are the different business process that can improvise the cloud service? From organizational perspective, from the view of an enterprise, geographical diversity must be taken care. Backup of the workstation data must be done. Geographical perspective or geographical diversity means weather, the conditions may change. Like if you have the servers inside the ocean, beneath the ocean or in the water, the environment will be different. You have to take care of how does you are going to adapt to the changes or risk that can happen under a ocean. So suppose Microsoft has its server under ocean near USA. What are the advantages of having the workstations or server under USA is you can reduce the temperature drastically if you keep the servers under water. Okay, you can reduce the temperature. The heating process will be reduced if you keep the servers under the water. That is, the data will be protected, and temperature may affect the protection of the data. It may affect or it may delete the data because of the temperature. Since each and every moment the server is running to protect the data, there will be a surge in temperature. It contains so much of data in the servers. So that must be in a optimal temperature. It must always be cool. What is the best thing to have a cool is you have to have the fans, because your systems, laptops, PCs will have a fan. What is the purpose of having a fan is to reduce the temperature because of the processing in the computers. How do you get the temperature reduced with the server is, best thing is you dip it in the water, which reduces the temperature. But what is the risk in case of this is the overcoating, the metal coating of the servers may get polluted, may get dirty with the animals which are in the ocean. They may be moving around. There will be algae growing over the server components. All those things are the some of the risk. Along with that, the components, metal components may get rusted. All those risks will be there. From organizational perspective, geographical diversity must be taken care. You cannot put a server in the desert because already temperature in the desert is too high. So you have to avoid keeping the servers in a high temperature environment. The diversity in environment plays an important role for the working of the service or working of the cloud. If you have kept server somewhere in America, in the north side of America, there will be a cloud environment during the winter. There will be a mild temperature in the summer. Or if you come to the Asian countries, there will be high temperature in the summer and normal temperature in the winter and the rainy season. So you have to take care of the geographical diversity. You have to take care where you are going to keep your server for giving the service. If you are keeping the server in a particular place, what are the environmental changes that can happen in that particular geographical area? That must be taken care. And backup of the workstation data must be done periodically so that the data will be stored. None of the system is foolproof. They cannot give 100% assurance that your data will be protected, whatever may be the condition. For that, they have to back up the data. There may be cases of losing the data. The best thing what you can do to preserve the data is backing up. So you have to take care of backup of the workstation data. From the strategy and vision perspective, with that perspective or view, you would want to have a crisis management. If there is any crisis happening in the service, you need to have a proper management system to tackle those crises that is happening in a cloud enterprise or cloud environment. So these are the capabilities or the need of the resiliency in a cloud environment. Okay. Along with that, we have a concept of provisioning. You know about the term provisioning and deprovisioning, isn't it? provisioning process can be termed as, it is a process, is a service that uses group of compliant processes. It will be group of process called solution realization. Solution realization is solution to a problem, answer to a problem. Solution realization, that is getting a proper solution to the problem arised in the cloud. Okay, so this provisioned products are the servers. These are the servers built with all the possible software. You can use any possible software, and infrastructure, you can have the infrastructure required to support a better business application. So it needs a proper software and proper infrastructure to support the cloud or to support the business process. So you would have to provision the different kinds of services to develop a better business application. There are standard solutions which are defined so that standard workflows can be derived. The standard workflows can be derived using the standard solution in the business, getting the help from the cloud. Okay, the server hardware can be assembled, cabled, they are connected and connected to the network and storage area network before work orders are released. You have to provision or you have to provide all the basic facilities, maybe hardware, software or supporting services which are needed before starting the orders or before starting to work in the cloud. You need to be fulfilled. That means hardware must be assembled, they are cabled and connected to the network. Whatever you may have, you need to have the internet, isn't it? Cloud is mainly based on the network. So first you have to have the hardware assembled, they are interconnected and are connected over the network. So before starting anything, you have to do all these things for establishing a better cloud. All right. So this is how you can have a provisioning process in the cloud environment. Okay, you have the business selects application. What are the applications I have to provide? It will be selected. IT planning meetings will be done. What are the hardware, software and other things we need to establish a service? Then purchasing all the things. Then set up facilities. You have to set up the facilities. Then coordinate, install process. So you have to coordinate between the hardware and the software, all those things. Install the servers, hardware. Then set up the networks. Then set up storage. Once the network is there, it is established, you need to have the storage management. How to store the data? Load the virtual machines for accessing from the users. Load the operating systems. Then deploy the applications over the network. Then whenever the client start using your service, there may be the need of extra files like patches, extra supporting operating systems, supporting applications, all those must be included, installed, set approvals, access controls, how much a user can access, all those controls must be established. Along with that, you have to test and qualify the service. That is, it is ready to be given to the client. Once all these process is finished, you can activate the cloud service. Once the cloud service starts, what is the remaining thing you have to do all over the lifetime of the services? Manage the life cycle of the service. All right. This is how you can perform a cloud process. All right. Now we have some of the characteristics of the cloud management. In this, each process has a owner who is responsible for the successful implementation of the product. That means a single person must take the responsibility of each of the process. That means whether the service must be given to a particular person or not, based on the login credentials, how much he has used, provisioning a particular process or deprovisioning that service from the user. All those things must be taken care by a single owner who is responsible for everything and controlling the process for the better delivery of the service. All right. Along with that, we have a concept of, we have a approach. How does the cloud management must be done? The approach involves different activities. What are the different activities is, planning must be done before executing any service or giving any new service. You need to have a proper planning. Along with that, validating the build specification. You have to validate the build specification before building it, before actually building it and giving to the client. You have to validate whether it is error-free, bug-free, and it can give a better service. That validation must be done. You have the right service. That proof or validation must be done before the process is built and released for service. Next is, packaged software installation must be done on respective servers. The respective servers must have the packaged software installation. Group of softwares must be installed before the services are delivered to the client. Along with that, you need to have number of servers racked, stacked, they are properly arranged, cabled, they must be interconnected and connected to the storage and networks. You need to have storage for storing the data and for processing the data. Along with that, to pass on the data over the network, you need to have the proper connection of the network before issuing the work orders. All these things must be done before actually you take the orders or you give the service to the client. All these things must be taken care. All right. In the next session, I'm going to tell you more about the cloud management. How does the cloud can be managed? All right. Thank you.